understood it, the only thing those trainers were going to do is the wolf was going to run over both of them before they got to me. That was it. But for real...
Mark Harmon always looked like the man who had everything under control. The calm face, the quiet voice, the clean-cut charm. Long before NCIS, he was the football star with a famous last name, the actor who moved from St. Elsewhere to Chicago Hope, and the private husband who kept Pam Dawber far from Hollywood noise. But the more you look, the smoother image starts to crack. There were family battles, career risks, set whispers, and a fallout fans never forgot. Then came the moment people still question, a sudden move that seemed too sharp for the man everyone thought they knew. Join us as we look closer at Mark Harmon's rise, private life, quiet marriage, and the mystery behind the moment that changed how some fans saw him forever. The Harmon name came with fame and pressure. Thomas Mark Harmon came into the world on September 2, 1951, in Burbank, California. From the beginning, his life was close to fame, sports, cameras, and big family names. His father was Tom Harmon, a Heisman Trophy-winning football player who later became a broadcaster. His mother was Elise Knox, an actress, model, and artist. So Mark did not grow up in a normal quiet house where fame felt far away. He grew up around people who already knew what public attention felt like. He was the youngest of 3 children, and both of his older sisters also lived close to fame. Kristen Nelson became an actress and painter, and she was once married to singer Rick Nelson. Kelly Harmon became an actress and model, and she was once married to car magnate John DeLorean. Even his family roots carried a lot of history. His father was of Irish descent, while his mother's parents were Austrian immigrants. On paper, that sounds like a strong Hollywood story. A handsome young man from a famous family, surrounded by talent, sports, and big connections. But that also meant Mark Harmon entered life with expectations already waiting for him. People knew the Harmon name before they knew him, and when that happens, a person has to decide whether to live inside the shadow or build something of his own. Mark's story begins with that question. He had the looks, the name, and the background, but he also had to prove he was more than someone's son or someone's brother. That is what makes his beginning so important. He was close to old Hollywood, sports fame, and family expectation before he ever had a line of his own. Viewers often meet him as Gibbs first, but the Harmon name was already carrying weight long before that badge. And at first, that direction did not point toward acting at all. It pointed toward football, discipline, and the kind of pressure that would quietly shape the rest of his life. The quarterback who chose the harder road. After Mark graduated from Harvard Westlake School in 1970, he did not jump straight into Hollywood. He went to Pierce College in Los Angeles and completed a 2-year associate degree. Football was already a major part of his life, but his road was not simple. As a teenager, he played football, baseball, and rugby, yet a broken elbow during his junior year hurt his chances of being recruited straight into a major program. Pierce became the place he rebuilt that path. By 1971, after his second season there, major college football programs were paying attention. Just a quick interruption. 20 seconds. I promise it's worth it. The fog in the morning, the word that was right there. The room you walked into for a reason you can't remember. You've probably been told that's just getting older. It isn't. Researchers identified exactly what causes it, and they've found the specific steps that directly address it. Go to brainresearchreport.com or find it linked in the description below. Go through it. It could genuinely change things for you. All right, back to the video. He had offers, and one of the biggest came from Oklahoma. That was not a small choice. Oklahoma had finished second in the nation the previous season, while UCLA had struggled badly with a 2-7-1 record and landed last in the Pac-8. But Mark chose UCLA. He stayed close to home and stepped into a team that needed a reset. Then came the game that people still bring up when they talk about his football years. In his first game with UCLA, the Bruins faced Nebraska, the 2-time defending national champion. UCLA was an 18-point underdog at the LA Coliseum. Almost nobody expected them to win, but they did. UCLA beat Nebraska 20-17 after a late field goal by Efren Herrera. For Mark, that was more than a win. It showed the kind of nerve he had. He started as UCLA's quarterback in 1972 and 1973, working under Coach Pepper Rogers in a wishbone offense. Across those 2 seasons, UCLA went 17-5. In his senior year, Mark received the National Football Foundation Award for all-round excellence. He graduated cum laude in 1974 with a degree in communications, but he was not picked in the NFL draft. His father, who had called UCLA games for years, tried not to sound biased when Mark played. Mark later remembered that his dad would often avoid saying too much and simply call him the quarterback. That small detail says a lot. Even inside a famous family, Mark still had to earn his place. A lot of people expected him to keep chasing football. Instead, the man who had learned to lead a team was about to find a different field. Mark Harmon's first steps from business to television. After college, Mark thought about advertising. He also considered law. For a while, he worked in business as a merchandising director. It seemed practical, it seemed steady, but it was not where his story would stay. Soon, he decided to move into acting, and even that first step had a family connection. One of his earliest national TV appearances, apart from his athletic life, was a Kellogg's Product 19 cereal commercial with his father, Tom Harmon, who had been the brand's longtime spokesman. That moment was small, but it put Mark in front of the camera in a new way. His first acting job came through another family link. Because of his sister Kristen's in-laws, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Nelson, he landed a role in an episode of Ozzie's Girls. After that, he began taking guest roles on shows like Adam 12, Policewoman, and Emergency. In the mid-1970s, he also appeared in 905 Wild, a backdoor pilot about two Los Angeles County animal control officers, but that series did not sell. Jack Webb, who was connected with those kinds of police and rescue shows, later cast Mark in Sam, a short-lived 1978 series about an LAPD officer and his K-9 partner. Even early on, people were putting him in roles tied to duty, order, and control. Before that, he had already earned an Emmy nomination for playing Robert Dunlap in Eleanor and Franklin, The White House Years. In 1978, he appeared in Centennial as Captain John McIntosh, an honorable Union cavalry officer. Then came more guest spots on Laverne and Shirley, Del Vecchio, and the Hardy Boys' Nancy Drew Mysteries, plus film roles in Comes a Horseman and Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. By 1979, he was co-starring as Deputy Dwayne Thibodeau in 240 Robert. The show did not last, but the pattern was clear. Mark Harmon was becoming the man television trusted, with uniforms, pressure, and quiet authority. The medical drama that changed Mark Harmon's career. In 1980, Mark took a regular role on the primetime soap Flamingo Road, playing Fielding Carlisle, the husband of Morgan Fairchild's character. The show started with good ratings, but it was canceled after 2 seasons. That could have slowed him down, but instead, a more important role came next. In 1983, he joined St. Elsewhere as Dr. Robert Caldwell. This was where many viewers began seeing him as more than another handsome TV actor. He stayed on the show for almost 3 seasons, and his character became part of a bold storyline for the time. Dr. Caldwell contracted HIV through unprotected intercourse, making him one of the first major recurring television characters to contract the virus. His off-screen death from AIDS was mentioned 2 years later. For a network drama in that era, this was serious, risky material. It showed Mark could carry a difficult role without turning it into a showy performance. Around the same time, he became the spokesperson for Coors Regular Beer and appeared in TV commercials for the brand. Then 1986 became a major turning point. In January, People magazine named him Sexiest Man Alive. The title could have made him another heartthrob, but his career was moving in several directions at once. After leaving St. Elsewhere in February, he starred in the TV films Prince of Bel-Air with Kirstie Alley and The Deliberate Stranger, where he played real-life serial killer Ted Bundy. That role was a sharp turn from the clean-cut image people had placed on him. It reminded viewers that the calm face could also become something darker on screen. That same year, he appeared in Let's Get Harry. By 1987, he was leading the comedy summer school with Kirstie Alley and Patrick Labyorteaux. Mark was no longer just building a career. He was testing how far his screen persona could stretch, and Hollywood was watching. That was the interesting part. Mark was not locked into one kind of role anymore. He could be charming one minute, unsettling the next, and completely believable either way. Hollywood had found a face it trusted, but also one it could twist. The charming star who could also play dark. By the late 1980s, Mark Harmon had the kind of career many actors chase for years. He could play the serious man, the romantic man, the funny man, or the quiet man with secrets. In 1987, he had a limited run on Moonlighting, playing Sam Crawford, the love interest of Sybil Shepherd's character. He also starred in the television film After the Promise. Then in 1988, he moved back into feature films with The Presidio, acting alongside Sean Connery and Meg Ryan. That same year, he appeared opposite Jodie Foster in Stealing Home. His connection to that film went beyond acting because in 1988, he was also part owner of the minor league baseball team, the San Bernardino Spirit. That was the same season Ken Griffey Jr. played for the team before going to the Seattle Mariners the next year. Mark used the team and their home field, Fiscalini Field, for the opening and closing scenes of Stealing Home. After the 1989 comedy Worth Winning, he returned to television movies and kept building a steady screen life. In the early 1990s, he played Chicago police detective Dickie Cobb for 2 seasons on Reasonable Doubts. In 1993, he appeared as a rodeo clown in Hearts of the West, a CBS comedy western that also featured future NCIS castmate Sean Murray. In 1994, he had a role in the western film Wyatt Earp. By 1995, he was starring in Charlie Grace as a private investigator, though that show lasted only 1 season. Then he returned to medical drama with Chicago Hope, playing Dr. Jack McNeil from 1996 to 2000. He also played astronaut Wally Schirra in From the Earth to the Moon and appeared in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Crossfire Trail, and Local Boys. By the early 2000s, he added Freaky Friday and Chasing Liberty to the list. He also worked on stage in Los Angeles and Toronto. At the Cass Theater in Los Angeles, he appeared in Wrestlers and The Wager. Later, productions of Love Letters let him perform beside Pam Dawber, mixing work and marriage in a rare, quiet way. He was not boxed in, but something was coming that would define him more than anything before. The marriage Mark Harmon protected from Hollywood. While Mark's career kept growing, his private life was changing too. On March 21, 1987, he married actress Pam Dawber in a private ceremony. Pam had her own strong television history. She was born in Detroit, the older daughter of Thelma and Eugene Dawber. Her father was a commercial artist. She went to Reed Elementary School in Goodrich, then North Farmington High School and Oakland Community College. At first, she planned to transfer to a 4-year college, but modeling pulled her in another direction. She moved to New York City, worked with Wilhelmina models, appeared in commercials, and then moved into acting. She screen tested for Tabitha, a Bewitched spin-off, but the role went to Lisa Hartman. Still, ABC executives liked her enough to place her in a talent development program. Gary Marshall later brought her out of that program, and she became widely known as Mindy McConnell on Mork and Mindy from 1978 to 1982. She later played Samantha Russell on My Sister Sam from 1986 to 1988. When Mark and Pam married, they did not build their life around red carpets. They had 2 sons, Sean, born in 1988, and Ty, born in 1992. Sean later acted as a young Gibbs in several NCIS episodes, while Ty became a screenwriter. Mark and Pam rarely appeared in public with their children, and that privacy became part of their image. In a town where many couples used attention to stay famous, they went the other way. Mark once told people that when he married, he wanted it to be everything this town says it can't be. He said, "I'm not into catting around." That line mattered because it showed the kind of life he said he wanted. But even in a private marriage, public storms can still find the front door. The custody battle that cracked the calm image. The year Mark married Pam, his family was pulled into a painful custody fight. In 1987, Mark filed for custody of his nephew Sam, the son of his sister, Kristen Nelson. Kristen was the ex-wife of late singer Rick Nelson, and the family had already been through deep pain after Rick died in a 1985 plane crash. Mark's custody bid was based on claims that Kristen was not able to parent Sam properly. Sam's psychiatrist testified that the boy described his mother as a dragon and complained about her mood swings and about being kept away from his siblings. Sam had been living with Mark and Pam after Kristen entered a treatment program in May for dependency on prescription drugs. When Kristen was about to leave the Century City Hospital, she said she was told Sam no longer wanted to live with her and that Mark and Pam wanted custody. Pam Dawber testified that Sam was afraid to return home and said Kristen was erratic. Under questioning, Pam admitted that living with natural parents is best for any child, and said she was following Sam's desire because she believed it was reasonable. But the fight ended before it went further. On a Tuesday in court, Mark dropped the custody bid. He and Kristen appeared to begin a reconciliation as they left the Los Angeles County Courthouse with their arms around each other. Kristen flashed a victory sign and said, "Sam's coming home." Under the agreement, Sam returned to his mother, entered family counseling with her, and Mark received visitation rights. Kristen's attorney called it an unconditional surrender, but the ending looked more human than legal. It was a family trying to stop bleeding in public. And for Mark, it showed something important. Behind the calm face was a man whose private life had already been tested in front of cameras. It was the kind of family pain Mark usually kept far from the spotlight, but this time, privacy was not enough. His name was in court, his family was in headlines, and the calm image had cracks. Years later, another moment near his home would put him back in the news, but this time as a hero. When Mark Harmon ran toward danger. In 1996, Mark Harmon's quiet, controlled image became something much more real. A car crashed outside his Brentwood home in Los Angeles. 2 teenage boys, both 16, were inside. The car had missed a turn, hit a tree, flipped over, and burst into flames. Mark lived next door to the crash site, and he did not stand there waiting. According to Los Angeles Fire Department spokesman Brian Humphrey, Mr. Harmon broke out the car windows and pulled the boys to safety. Humphrey also said, "The youths owe their lives to the action of Mr. Harmon." Mark used a sledgehammer to smash the windows and help rescue the boys. One of them suffered severe burns over 30% of his body and was taken to UCLA Medical Center. The other had minor injuries and was taken to St. John's Hospital and Health Center. The story spread because it sounded like something from a movie, but it was not a role. It was a real moment with real danger. At the time, Mark was 44 and already known for shows like Saint Elsewhere and Charlie Grace. He had also played Ted Bundy in a television movie, which made the contrast even sharper. On screen, he could play dark or complicated characters. Off screen, he had just helped save 2 boys from a burning car. That kind of story builds a certain kind of public trust. People start seeing the actor and the man as almost the same person. Calm, brave, ready, protective. But that kind of image can also become heavy, because once the public decides a star is safe and steady, any later story that feels rough or strange hits harder. And for Mark, the next major chapter would make him look like the perfect leader for television's biggest crime team. The badge that turned Mark Harmon into a TV legend. In May 2002, Mark played Secret Service Special Agent Simon Donovan on The West Wing in a 4-episode arc. That role earned him his 2nd Emmy nomination, exactly 25 years after his first. It also caught the eye of Donald P. Bellisario, the creator of JAG and NCIS. Bellisario brought Mark into 2 episodes of JAG in April 2003, introducing him as NCIS agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs. By September, Mark was starring as Gibbs in NCIS. This became the role that changed everything. Gibbs was strict, quiet, loyal, and hard to read. In many ways, the character matched the public idea of Mark Harmon. He had played law officers and doctors for years, but Gibbs became the final shape of that image. Over time, NCIS turned into one of television's biggest shows, and Mark became its center. He earned 6 People's Choice Award nominations for the role and won Favorite TV Crime Drama Actor in 2017. He also reunited with former Chicago Hope castmates Rocky Carroll, Lauren Holly, and Jane Brooke. Since 2008, he worked not only as the star, but also as a producer and executive producer. That meant he was more than the face of the show. He was part of its power structure. In 2011, he spoke about NCIS like a team, not just a job. He said, "I look at the show as a team." He also said, "I've always been a team guy." To him, the crew mattered because the show gave hundreds of people steady work. He said it mattered that people knew they could plan a family vacation or make a down payment because they had a job to return to in July. That sounded like the quarterback again. Get the ball to the right person, protect the team, keep things moving. Mark said his job was still to get the ball to the person who could do the most with it. That line made Gibbs feel less like a costume and more like a life pattern. Every long-running team has pressure behind the scenes, and on NCIS, that pressure would later become impossible to ignore. Yet while Gibbs made Mark look even more controlled on screen, his real life stayed locked away from the spotlight. And the biggest part of that private world was the marriage he protected for decades. Why Mark Harmon and Pam Dawber stayed so private. As NCIS made Mark even more famous, his marriage to Pam Dawber stayed unusually private. That privacy became almost as interesting as the fame itself. In 2019, after more than 30 years of marriage, Mark told people that one reason the relationship worked was maturity. He said, "We were both in our 30s when we got married, so hopefully the stupid stuff we did earlier." He called that the closest thing he had to a key. He also admitted that he and Pam did not always agree, and he believed that helped them. One example was summer school. Mark wanted to do the movie because he was excited to work with director Carl Reiner, but Pam told him, "Don't do that. Don't do this movie." He still did it. Later he said, "We don't generally like the same thing, and that's been healthy for us, actually." He also spoke about his wedding ring, especially a ring shaped like an eagle head. He said they thought it may have belonged to his grandfather because it was in a box of things his father left. When he was not shooting, he liked wearing something on his ring finger because, as he said, "I'm proud to be married, and I'm proud of who I'm married to." In 2023, he told people how the relationship began. A mutual friend wanted to set them up on a group date, but Mark wanted a more direct approach. He asked if he could call. He left a message suggesting coffee, then Pam picked up because she had been listening. They went out that night, and as Mark put it, they were together ever since. They married 1 year later, to the day. He also said laughter and communication mattered. "We laugh," he said. "You got to laugh, and you got to talk and communicate." He did not describe it like a perfect fairy tale. He made it sound like daily work. It sounds warm, simple, and old-fashioned. That was the Mark Harmon people trusted. Private, loyal, careful. The man who kept Hollywood noise away from his home. But that silence would hit differently when trouble reached NCIS. Because this time, the quiet only made people listen harder. The NCIS fallout that made fans look at Mark differently. One of the most talked about controversies around Mark Harmon came from his NCIS co-star, Pauley Perrette, who played Abby Suto for 15 seasons. When she left NCIS in 2018, many viewers first thought it was just a career decision. But soon after, she posted cryptic messages online that made fans think something deeper had happened. She referred to multiple physical assaults and said there was a machine keeping her silent and feeding false stories about her. In 2019, when fans kept asking whether she would return to NCIS, she wrote in all caps that she was not coming back and told people to stop asking. She said she was terrified of Harmon and had nightmares about him attacking her. She also posted a photo of an alleged crew member's injured face and said she had fought to keep it from happening again. The conflict was often connected to a dog incident on set. In an oral history of NCIS, executive producer Charles Floyd Johnson explained that Harmon's dog had bitten someone working on the show. He said Pauley was deeply involved in animal protection and felt the set was not safe when the dog kept coming with Harmon. Other reports said the crew member needed 15 stitches. Some sources claimed Mark continued bringing the dog to work, while his lawyers said the dog was kept in his trailer or on a leash. Reports also claimed Pauley and Mark eventually stopped filming together, and that her final scene was created through editing because they worked on different days. CBS said Pauley had come to them with a workplace concern, that they took it seriously, and that they worked with her to find a resolution. CBS President Kelly Call later said the matter had been investigated and resolved to everyone's satisfaction. Mark did not publicly comment, and that silence left fans with questions, clips, claims, and a title that suddenly felt harder to ignore. Mark's silence only made the story feel bigger. For years, he had been the steady center of NCIS. But after that fallout, some fans no longer saw the show the same way. And when Gibbs finally started fading from the screen, it did not feel like just another cast change. It felt like the end of something much heavier. Mark Harmon left NCIS, but the questions stayed. By season 19, Mark Harmon's time as a regular on NCIS came to an end. In the 4th episode, Gibbs walked away, with his exit already set up by the previous season finale. For fans, it felt like the end of a huge era. Mark had been the face of the show for 18 seasons, so many wondered if NCIS could even survive without him. Later, Sean Murray, who played Timothy McGee from the beginning, spoke about the change on the Partners in Proby's podcast. He remembered Mark getting ready for Gibbs to appear less and less, and he also remembered the talks about Gary Cole joining the show. When he got the call that Cole was the one coming in, he felt relief because there would be real stuff to work with. That alone showed how big the change was. Replacing Gibbs was not just swapping one actor for another, it was changing the heart of the show. Still, Mark never fully left the NCIS world. In October 2024, 3 years after his departure, he returned as Gibbs in NCIS Origins, mainly as narrator, and also made a cameo in the prequel's two-part pilot. He later appeared again for the NCIS and NCIS Origins crossover special on Veterans Day 2025. Around that time, reports claimed he was not ready to retire. A source said he missed the routine, the crew, the fans, and the buzz of being on set. The source also said he was looking at projects outside NCIS, including movies. Away from Gibbs, he had been producing, narrating, reprising his role as Jamie Lee Curtis's husband in Freakier Friday, and writing Ghosts of Honolulu with retired real-life NCIS Special Agent Leon Carroll Jr. At 74, the report said he still had plenty of gas left in the tank. Then in 2026, Mark appeared on the NCIS podcast Partners in Proby's and was asked if he followed any of Gibbs's famous rules in real life. His answer came fast. Number 9. That rule was to carry a knife. Mark explained that a pocket knife was useful as a tool and said people would be surprised how handy it could be. He also made it clear that he did not carry it for protection. It was such a simple answer, but it fit the image fans had of him. Practical, calm, controlled. And maybe that is why the sharper moments stood out. With Mark Harmon, the mystery was never loud. It was in the silence, the pauses, and the things he chose not to explain. So what changed the way you saw Mark Harmon the most? The NCIS fallout, the way he stayed quiet, or the strange moment fans still talk about? And do you think people read too much into moments like this? Or do small cracks sometimes reveal more than a star means to show? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more incredible stories from Hollywood's fascinating history. See you next time.